Today on the channel, it may be Black Friday and the deals are hot, but the reveals are even hotter. As today on the channel, we're going to go over all the WWE.com reveals from Mattel.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for a Black Friday special WWE Mattel reveals video. And today, of course, the day after Thanksgiving if you are in the United States, and of course, a day where people are usually out shopping, still celebrating Thanksgiving, or shopping online. So a very busy day for a lot of people, which made it a little bit of a head scratcher, at least to me, with my old business hat, that they would do these Mattel reveal drops today. Of course, they did do the Elite Squad over there, the YouTube video with Sam Roberts, Johnny Gargano, of course, back riding again, even a guest appearance by the old Boogeyman over there. We'll talk about him a little bit in this video. But a very interesting day to drop all these reveals, and we do know more reveals are coming on Monday and more discussion about the Mattel line at Hogan's Beat Shop, which is, I guess you'd call this Ringside Fest for 2022. It is the Mega Powers launch party with Hulk Hogan, Ringside Collectibles, all that fun stuff. So more on that this coming Monday. And of course, Ringside Collectibles, you'll be able to buy all this stuff there eventually. Use discount code Kyle, save 10%. Gotta think pre-order is going to be coming up next week for a lot of this stuff. And over the next week or so, we'll probably see all this stuff up for pre-order at Ringside Collectibles. But an interesting day to drop a bunch of news because it does get lost in the holiday shuffle a little bit. But we'll see. And there was a lot more than I ever expected. As Thursday they did announce, hey, we got some reveals coming. And it was a heck of a lot more than I would have expected, like I keep saying, on a Black Friday. But without further ado, let's dive into it and let's go through order. This is all off of the WWE.com gallery on the WWE.com website. We're going to go in order. I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to talk about it. So let's go. Let's dive into it. And the first thing we get to see is the old championship showdown. Everybody loves a showdown, especially a championship showdown. And Big E riding again, as we've talked about a lot on the channel. Of course, Big E spent a lot of time late last year, early of this year, really being pushed to the moon. Of course, a title run, which always equals 6 to 8 years later, a lot of figures. And we've seen that in the Elite line. Now we're seeing it in the championship showdown set with Bobby Lashley, another guy with title runs, title challenging matches, a guy that's been at the forefront of WWE programming, and we get these two in their championship showdown pack. We do get the title belt, of course, Bobby Lashley, Big E, typical packaging here. Very good look on Big E, got that screaming, kind of smiling head sculpt, and then Bobby Lashley, really a paint by numbers. Always kind of has that same look in action figures for the most part, but we're getting that one if you are so interested. The next one is Repaint City, one they went to the well with many times. Once again, we're getting another Charlotte, we're getting an Alexa Bliss over the title belt, of course, but two figures that we've seen these molds numerous times, just really a fresh painted coat, as they would say, on these two. So if you're a female collector, you're a completionist of those, that would be for you, but I think a lot of people probably are saying, I could pass on that one. One that is really cool here is RK Bro getting a 2-pack together, which is pretty awesome. Would love to see an Elite 2-pack of these. I don't know if that's in the card, but of course, Riddle, Randy Orton, are the greatest tag team champions of all time. I wouldn't go that far, but in the last couple of years, at least in my book, love this tag team. To me, I've said it before, this is the most interesting thing Randy Orton has done in his whole career. Yes, you heard that. I've never been the biggest Orton fan for whatever reason, but I really did enjoy RK Bro. I'm picking this up because I'm all in on all the Riddle figures. I'll have Orton with this. One head scratcher, and we've seen this before with Championship Showdown packs, is only one tag team title belt. That just doesn't sit right with me, and of course I sit right here at this table, as you guys know. But that just feels weird to only get one title belt. They gotta find a way to get two in there. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not the olden days where somebody split a belt. I believe it was the old 6-man tag titles way back in the day. I think they had one belt for a while. Maybe that was WCW. One belt for all three guys. Why wouldn't you? But very interesting pack. I'm here for that one. Like I said, I need the Riddle figures. Next up, we were shown Elite 99, and Elite 99 been a bit of a secret wave for a while, so we knew who was in it, but we hadn't seen in-package images, hadn't seen glamour shots, didn't really know what we were going to get. Well, the verdict's out here, and they threw it all up at us the day after Thanksgiving. How appropriate there. But we did get Elite 99. They did show us some stuff. A few of these pictures leaked a couple of days ago. Now we get them in full on their glory. And the first one we saw was Seth Rollins. Very cool. Some good and some bad with this Seth Rollins, as we're getting a little bit of, once again, a little paint by numbers rehash of an old Seth Rollins, especially the head sculpt from like 20 sets ago. I don't know if it was that far, but it's an old head sculpt that's getting dusted off and reused here. That's going to upset a few people. I know how that goes. But the winning thing of this is the jacket, the fur jacket. Looks like pleather type white there going on. That is something special, but a lot of reuse with this. But I guess you got to do a lot of reuse when you're giving us new tooling in this jacket like this. But a good enough looking figure. I think it'll dress up really well with the jacket. Would have liked to seen a different head sculpt, but it is what it is. They're too far along in the process right now to change any of that. But we do got Seth Rollins in Series 99. We also got another one we saw kind of leaked out the other day. It is Riddle, Matt Riddle. He is back in the Elite line, Elite 99. Got the Hey Randy shirt, a favorite shirt of mine I wear here on the channel. Of course, got his slippers, extra hands. You got the hat on him, and then you do get the scooter. His first time getting the scooter in the line. That'll be a cool accessory there for Mr. Riddle. And then this is representing his RK Bro tag team stuff, which we already talked about a little bit ago in the Championship Showdown. But Riddle's a pretty easy one. You give him different accessories, and for the most part, the body's going to be the same. You know, the bare feet, very easy. Just use the most out of your molds, and you get that with Riddle. But Riddle, very popular, as we know. I'm a day one buyer. I'm a day one buyer of all these. What am I saying? But Riddle's one I'm really looking forward to. I've been waiting for this one. So he is in Elite 99 as well. Then we go to an interesting one, and this is a little bit of a curveball, and it is Farmer Brock Lesnar. Oh, Brock Lesnar, his return to the Elite, Ultimates, Showdown, Top Picks, Basics. He's going to be flooded because, you know, he came back in the summer. He's back right now. We're going to see a lot more Brock Lesnar stuff coming. We know that 3-pack from Amazon's on the horizon. But we're getting Brock here in his overalls, plaid shirt, very, very cool, very moment in time, very strange, but he did wear this. We did see him this. It does come with a cowboy hat, which is always cool, and then you do get the Brock Lesnar world title belt and a couple of fists for Brock. You got to have those as well, but very, very interesting look for Brock Lesnar, but it fits. It's on point with Brock. Of course, he wears this kind of stuff out on his farm and hunting, things like that, but it's definitely an interesting Brock Lesnar, and I really do enjoy things like this because it's so off the beaten path, so different, because let's be honest, we've had a lot of Brock Lesnars over the years, a lot of them fairly similar. This is totally a 180 on the Brock Lesnar, so this is really cool. It is really different. It'll be interesting how it resonates with the general public, though. Hardcore collectors like myself, probably like a lot of you guys, we're all in on stuff like this, but what about little Johnny? Oh, little Johnny, or little Kyle out there. Would they be into this Brock Lesnar? I guess if I was a kid, I'd be into every single one, but I wasn't like every single kid out there, and maybe you weren't either, but very, very interesting. But the most interesting thing with this Brock Lesnar is it seems for the first time ever, we're getting 2 chases in Elite 99. That has never happened, at least from my memory. It's been a while, but I don't think that is the case. So very strange. We're getting Brock Lesnar, but we're getting different color overhauls, different color shirt underneath. Very easy repaint, but it does make it feel different. I guess for you completionists, we got to get both of those. For others, you pick your poison. Which overhauls you like better? How you like your Brock? That's what you got to choose, but very interesting way to go to market with 2 chases. Putting the old business hat on, and last week in Toy News, I put the business suit on, if you guys saw that, but not today. I'm wearing the ECW shirt. Putting the business hat on here. It's probably a smart play because guess what? They're going to make X amount of these anyways. Maybe it's really easy just to do a simple repaint like this. Flood them out to the market. It makes people like myself and a lot of you other guys out there that are all in on chases, all in on being completionists, another figure to buy. As we do know, Mattel, Hasbro, all the toy companies, they are struggling right now. We see it at retail. There is toys everywhere. This is a way to get some extra sales without having to put extra lines out there, extra things. It could be a business strategy we might see more of in 2023. I honestly would not be a big fan of that. I love more wrestling figures, but we get a lot, as we do know, especially when you're looking outside of the Mattel Jazzwares universe. There's a lot of product coming our way. They're all begging for your money. They're all trying to get every dollar out of your wallet, every coin out of your pocket, as I always say. And I do think this is one of those things that we will see probably more of or maybe it's a one and done. Who knows? But the future is going to be really interesting. That's something we need to pay attention to in the future. Will we get multiple chases? Will there be a time where every figure has a chase? I hope not. I hope not, but you never know. Moving on next in Elite 99, we saw Happy Corbin, Baron Corbin. He is a guy in his career of action figures where every time his action figure comes out, his gimmick changes. You know, he was kind of the general manager. That figure came out, he was long gone from that. You know, he was Happy Corbin, or he was King Corbin. That finally came out, he'd moved on to Happy Corbin. You know, now we're getting Happy Corbin. He's moved on, now he's JBL, the wrestling god of today's day and age, or something like that. So this is a guy that changes his gimmicks always before a figure comes out. But I gotta say, I know a lot of people are going to be against this. A lot of people aren't going to want this. I understand it. I'm not even that big of a Baron Corbin fan. I guess I'm not even really a fan at all. I mean, I see his matches and stuff. It doesn't do a lot for me. But I like the looks of this, and this figure looks great. And at the end of the day, I love a good figure, even if it's a character I'm not really invested in. And that's what we get with this Baron Corbin. You got a wild, crazy shirt going on, black pants, happy face, but then you get his white shirt with like the ketchup stain. I think it was an episode of SmackDown. I think I might even have been there for that, or it was the week after that. I can't remember, but he got the ketchup stain on him, the white shirt. He does have the white fedora hat, which you can put on both, I guess. But then he's got the grumpy, down in the dumps, loser Baron Corbin head. So really, once again, we talked about a chase with Brock Lesnar. You could almost say this is a 2-in-1 figure as well, as you need both versions of him. I'm going to probably pick up 2 of these, but I got to be honest, this is one of those ones you play the long game on. It goes to clearance on ringside for $12.99. You pick up a second Baron Corbin. And a lot of people say, I'm not even getting 1, let alone 2. But for me, I'm probably going to pick up 2 of these ones. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's the truth. But it does look really good. You get the happy version and the mad version. I think that's a fun thing Mattel is doing for us there. Then next up, we get Queen Zelina. And I just talked about Happy Corbin moving on to Baron Corbin is switching gimmicks. Well, we get that again with Queen Zelina. She has moved on for this Queen gimmick, and now she's on SmackDown, more in a managerial / wrestling role now, I guess. But she has moved on for that, so a little bit dated here. But this is great for those that, I believe her last one, wasn't it a collector's edition? I believe so. I believe that was. So it's for people that missed that. You now have another chance at this, different outfit, things like that. But a lot of reuse, as you can imagine here. But Queen Zelina back in the Elite lineup. And then we saw the Boogeyman. Speaking of Brock Lesnar chases, speaking of Happy Corbin 2-in-1, now we get the official chase from this series we knew about. It is, of course, the Boogeyman. And the Boogeyman, an all-timer from the Ruthless Aggression era. Not really known for his wrestling, known more for eating his worms. But we get 2 versions of the character. Now, we did get an Elite way back in like Elite 47 or something like that. So we did have him before, and then, of course, Ruthless Aggression era, Jax figures, got a lot of different Boogeyman figures, but I think enough times passed, it warrants a new figure, and the chase is interesting with that all red head with a little bit of black lettering. I always thought that was his creepiest look, at least for me, but very cool, and once again, you know, Boogeyman's been out there before, so it's a lot of retooling, very much like the Greatest Hits line, where they get old Elites, spruce them up a little bit, give them some new accessories, and bam, you're off to a new figure. We get a little bit of that here, too. I'm assuming pinless joints and all that. It looks to be the case. So he's got pinless joints, which is an update. You get a lot of the same accessories used once again. We've seen a lot of those over the years from the Boogeyman, the last one. But a little fresh paint on them, things like that, and a few new accessories, and you're off to the races with a new Boogeyman figure. So very cool, getting a little new blood, or at least it feels new blood in the Elite line. So that is Elite 99. Have to expect those guys are shipping fairly soon. I am waiting to unbox those and the new Target Legends wave, and then after that we can do our top 10 of the year. So stay tuned for that here on the channel. Make sure you do subscribe, but anxiously awaiting those, hopefully shipping from ringside the next couple of weeks. We always say once we see pretty production pictures of them in the package, that usually means a couple of weeks away from shipping to us, so hopefully that is the case there with those. Now we move on to a very interesting wave, and one we talked about, I think San Diego Comic-Con this was announced, or was it? Yeah, I think it was San Diego Comic-Con. What is time anymore? It's all a blur anymore. But we are seeing the new Legends Target Wave, Legends 18, and talk about an interesting lineup here, a very interesting lineup. As we do get Hulk Hogan, we do get Samu, we do get Fatu, the Head Shrinkers, and then we get Paul E. Dangerously. So quite the mixed bag lineup, but a very, very interesting one. Now, this Hulk Hogan bash at the beach, the greatest heel turn of all time when he joined the NWO. That's what we're getting right here. So very cool to get this finally. And very interesting to see Hulk Hogan in a Target Legends line. It's been a long, I don't think he's been in the Legends line. Actually, now that I think of it, I think this is Hulk Hogan's debut in the Legends line. So we should be a little shocked by that, because how many Hulk Hogans do we get? Especially in 2022, I think we've got 10 figures of Hulk Hogan this year between all the different lines. But very cool. It is a moment in time piece. I think a lot of people are going to want this one. NWO fans, WCW fan, completionist, Hulk Hogan fans, Legend fans. This one checks a lot of boxes and continues on the tradition of getting a new Hulk Hogan figure every month or two. This is a pretty exciting one. I'm here for this, but you guys know I'm here for all these. But very, very interesting. Only thing I'm looking at this is it hot dog tan enough? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Was he had that nice hot dog tan going at this time? Because it looks a little bit pale, and it seems like Mattel really goes back and forth on the Hulk Hogan skin tones, where to me, I close my eyes, I think of the Hulkster, I think of him just on the roller at the local 7-Eleven. That's what I think of. But very cool and very, just strange. I see Hulk Hogan in the pack here in the Legends 18 series packaging. It looks cool. It looks cool. There's no doubt about it. It just looks like, wow, I can't believe we haven't had this before. I don't know. It's just me, but it looks really cool. Then we move on to the head shrinkers. Samu is the first one we're seeing here. Now the head shrinkers, I remember them as the Samoan SWAT team. That was the first time I ever saw them. Of course, then they went to the WWF. We did get Hasbro's of them back in the day, so they're no strangers to action figures, but it's been a heck of a long time since we've got a Samu figure, and I think this is a really, really cool one. Of course, the Samoan Dynasty at an all-time high right now, and, you know, Roman Reigns and all that going on SmackDown and Raw. This fits in that whole lineage, of course, with Fatu especially, but Samu looking really good, and then we get Fatu, and these guys are going to be the chases of this set, so very cool to get two chases once again. Is that something we're going to start seeing more and more? We just talked about the Brock. Now we got it in the Legends line. But this really works good because Samu and Fatu, I don't see them getting extra elites down the line. So to do it this way, knock it all out, give us the old Samoan SWAT team look, give us the head shrinkers look, and bam, we're off to the races there. Really good soft goods skirts on this as well. Forgot to mention that. But it does look really, really nice. I am here for this. This is very, very cool. And then the final cool thing about this Legends Series 18 set is the Paul E. Dangerously. Now, Paul E., that's what I remember Paul E. with the old cell phone back in the day, which we do get here. Once again, a bit of a 2-in-1 figure, as this works for Paul E. Dangerously from the Dangerous Alliance days, WCW days. You could stick him with all the people he managed. You could do all that kind of stuff at WCW. But also, this could, and it does come with an ECW hat. You could use this as Paul E. for ECW. You know, him managing 911 and Sabu back in the day, things like that. A very early version of Paul Heyman. Now, we do have another Paul Heyman coming in that Amazon 3-pack we know just around the corner. So we might get some more Paul E's down the line. I would love to see more of the long trench coat ECW hat ponytail Paul E. Dangerously from the primed era of ECW. I'm hoping we get that down the line. I think that would be a really good one. Heck, you could put that in the Ruthless Aggression series as well down the line. So very cool to get Paul E. And I love this 90s inspired suit. This thing just screams 1990s. It looks like he's getting ready to go on a cruise or something like that. But very cool to get Paul E. One of my most wanted, if not my most wanted manager figure. So really, really do like the looks of that one. Then we move on here into the Ruthless Aggression era, and we go back to Walmart, or we go to Walmart for the first time here in this video. Now, the Ruthless Aggression series has slowly trickled out. The first series is in stores right now. Not every Walmart, but I have a couple of Walmarts that are peg warming pretty hard on these, and others that don't have them at all. So it's a really weird distribution model as usual. However, I have got all mine from the Walmart online, and that's been pretty consistent here, so fingers crossed. I should have Series 2 here today as I'm filming this. It's supposed to come from FedEx. We'll see if that one happens. But it looks like the next series we're getting here today, Undertaker is in there. And Undertaker, no doubt, Biker Taker, a huge part of the Ruthless Aggression era, and a nice, easy repaint, nice little easy update of Biker Taker here. Extra hands, of course, a chair, got to have all that kind of stuff. But Undertaker definitely belongs in the Ruthless Aggression era. And then we get an interesting one here that is really, really cool. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, not really thought of as the Ruthless Aggression era, you know, kind of the tail beginnings of it, I guess you would say. But this is, I believe, an homage. Oh, yes, an homage. Was this the one from the Jakks? Ruthless Aggression, I couldn't tell you the number, but an earlier one, and I think they marketed it as Stone Cold's last figure, his last Jakks figure, because we know he walked out. He didn't want to lose to Brock Lesnar. He left wrestling. all that kind of stuff. And I believe that's what this is. The t-shirt, the kind of camo pants going on. Of course, you get the Austin chain, but very tail end Jax, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think this one is really, really cool, especially if you remember that Jax figure back in the day that they really preached, like, this is it. This is your last chance to get a Stone Cold figure. So we are getting that in the Ruthless Aggression line. And then the one that was previewed and we knew was coming, and probably the one I'm most excited for in a lot of these sets, actually, is Eric Bischoff. Of course, General Manager Eric Bischoff during the Ruthless Aggression era. Love Eric Bischoff. Much like Paul Heyman, there's so many different versions. Give me Karate Eric Bischoff. Give me that old school Jax one. Put him in the next set in his Karate Gi. I'm here for that. I'd love to see TV announcer Eric Bischoff. I'd love to see NWO Eric Bischoff. Give me AWA announcer Eric Bischoff. There's a lot of Bischoffs that we could have in our collection. And it looks like we're starting here with the Ruthless Aggression era. A little bit of a paint by numbers Eric Bischoff. I think this is what you would expect for a Ruthless Aggression Eric Bischoff. But one of the cool selling points to this one is the extra head. When he officiated the wedding and peeled off his face. Very cool. One of the best moments of time of the Ruthless Aggression series. Or TV back in the day. I really do like the looks of that. Now, I get putting that extra head on. It just doesn't look right. And I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and look. But I think he was wearing kind of like a priest garb or something like that. Or, you know, he was an officiant garb. I think that's what he was wearing. So third-party customizers, you guys better get to work right now because we need to have use for that extra head somehow. We'll have to figure that out down the line. But very, very cool. And I love that Mattel has given us a deep cut extra head like that because they honestly didn't even have to do that. They could have just gave us Eric Bischoff, and I don't think anybody would have said any different. So it's giving the fans just a little bit more, and that's always appreciated from Mattel. But a very, very cool one. I love the two finger points to kind of the dimples going on. Very Eric Bischoff. A very, very good one in that Ruthless Aggression set. So I'm here for that. Very, very cool. That should be up for pre-order as well. I got to think sometime in December that might go up. Who knows? It could go up this weekend. I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later. And then a line that has touched a lot of people. It's like the new wave of retros. Retros used to be the, Hasbro style. Now retros apparently is all about the He-Man style, the Remco style. A lot of people have moved on to this and kind of left retros in the dust, the retro Hasbro style. But this one is very cool. Ravishing Rick Rude, an all-time favorite of mine, big-time nemesis of the Ultimate Warrior, possibly Ultimate Warrior's biggest rival of all time, right up there. I mean, some people could make the case for that for sure, over the Intercontinental and the World title belt. And we do know we got more Rick Rudes coming in the Ultimate wave as well, but we're getting him in the Superstars line. Very fitting if you ask me, so I'm here for that one. I love the pink trunks with the title belt. You do get the robe. That robe looks to be reused from that SummerSlam one. Maybe not. No, actually, I think it is different. It's similar but different. Now, we all remember the last Rick Rude Elite we got where we had the staining issues. Hopefully, that is not going to be the case here. Hopefully, there is no staining. But that Superstars one is coming. The next one we knew all about. It's another 2-in-1. So we're seeing a pattern here in all these lines. We're getting a 2-in-1 Earthquake. We're getting single career Earthquake, but then we're getting natural disasters Earthquake, and we are getting an extra set of knee pads and an extra set of boots with all the hands, and then a singlet accessory. So you got to buy 2 of these. To my mind, I'm going to have to buy 3 of these, 1 mint on card, 2 to open. So Earthquake's going to be one that's really moving the needle here a little bit. And I gotta say, I'm excited for it. It's one that fits here, and we do know Typhoon is coming later down the line as well. So Earthquake, 2 looks for him. Very, very cool. I'm here for that. Then we move into the top picks, and the top pick basic is where we're gonna start. And really, really not for me, but we know top picks are more for the kids, getting some of the superstars out there on a regular basis for them. And we got The Rock returning to the line. One of the all-timers for the top pick line is The Rock, of course. AJ Styles, my old friend AJ, he's going back into the top picks line as well. Makes sense, a guy that's on TV fairly regularly, and they're freshening it up a little bit, as he's usually not in the top picks assortment. And then we talked about this earlier, Brock Lesnar Mania, be prepared, a lot more Brock figures coming. He is in the top picks line, and I wouldn't be shocked if that's not a straight re-release of a Brock Lesnar basic we've had not too long ago. So Brock is in the top picks. Now we turn our attention to the Elite top picks, which get me a heck of a lot more excited than the basic ones. The Elite top picks are very interesting because remember when they started, they were direct re-releases, and I was screaming from the basement here saying, Mattel, I love the idea of the top picks, but give us something different. Make people buy these that normally would not. Yeah, it could be a quick, easy repaint, give it a new shirt, things like that, and you got a whole new figure. It's making completionists, collectors buy these top picks, and that's exactly what we're seeing here once again. So they've really caught into a rhythm there where they're doing this. And I think at the end of the day, it's a smart business tactic. It maybe makes some people grumble a little bit and say, oh, I wish they were just straight repaints. I could save a little bit of money, but I think it is smart business practice here. And once again, returning to the top picks, we've got John Cena, and he's got a Super Mario 3 style t-shirt going on. It looks really cool, of course, a hat, but it's a John Cena figure we've seen before. Just a few new bells and whistles, and you got yourself a new figure. So there'll be John Cena in the line, but very cool and very warranted. And then Bobby Lashley, an interesting one for the top picks, is Bobby Lashley, historically, at least in my area and what you see on my figure hunts, doesn't set the world on fire, doesn't, move a lot of units, at least in my area. So we are getting an interesting repaint of him. I always love Bobby Lashley in the tights. We're getting the world title belt with him. Got that same Bobby Lashley mean mugging head going on, but one that works, and it looks really, really good. So Bobby Lashley, first time ever in the top picks. And speaking of first time ever in the top picks, once again, we do get a female this time, which is really interesting because nothing against female wrestlers, nothing against female figures, but we see them peg warm consistently. I don't care what line we're talking about. They are out there in heavy numbers compared to their male counterparts. It just is what it is. It's facts you can see at the store. So to put Ronda Rousey in a top picks role is very interesting business decision by Mattel. But Ronda Rousey, of course, one of the most known, if not the most known female wrestler in the world, is from her crossover appeal and things like that. But we are getting one very similar to her previous Elite she got with a different color combination. More of the Roddy Piper style coloring with the white and the red going on. Of course, do get the female title belt right there. Looks really good, though. And as a top picks, it's just an interesting one. But I'd rather have this in a top pick than a traditional Elite line. Maybe that's just me, and I guess either way is fine. But very interesting to see a female top pick, as we just have not seen that. Then we got something entirely new, and they're little battle packs, like little battle accessory packs, which are great for kids, great for figure photographers, because we're getting some old accessories Mattel have had since the heyday, or the beginnings of the line, I should say, back in 2010. We saw a lot of stuff like that. We saw a lot of backstage arenas with things. It's a way to get some of those pieces back out to the customers that obviously have missed it, as they've flipped over collectors multiple times. They've flipped over kids multiple times. So a lot of this stuff is new to a lot of people, and it's interesting. Instead of being a battle pack with 2 figures, you get a figure and a bunch of accessories, and that's what you get here with The Rock. In the first one, you get a little lap bar, a little pull-up bar going on. You get a microphone, a chair, a kendo stick, which Rock was always known for his kendo sticks, as we know. But it looks really cool. It's something totally different. You got to take some chances every once in a while. You got to freshen some things up. Very interesting. And I wonder where these will go at your Walmart's, Targets. Will they go to Walmart's, Targets? They're about the size of a battle pack. So is it going to be one of those things, or I should say Championship Showdown pack now? Are they going to share the same UPC as that? Is it going to be a different UPC? Are they getting a different peg? It'll be very interesting. The distribution of these interests me the most, as I don't feel I need any of these accessories here, but very cool idea. And then Rey Mysterio is going to be the other one. He's coming with a trash can. He's coming with a bright orange ladder, a piece of guardrail, and a crutch. So Rey Mysterio, the man of 1,000 different action figures, is coming back to a different line. He's starting this one off with The Rock. But once again, like I said, I like what they're trying here. It's trying some new things. I think that is pretty cool. Then we're getting the Wreckin' Raw Arena. Now this, I believe, is straight up reuse. I think this was an old set once again. That whole Raw stage and all that. Great for kids. If you have a kid that's playing, that's who this is for. This isn't for adult collectors, and not all this stuff should be for adult collectors. This is for kids. So they get a ring, they get a stage, they get an announce table, they get a table, they get a little flipper-do thing so they can send their wrestlers in the air. Just great for a small child. Get them introduced into wrestling figures, things like that, and hopefully they grow into madness like this one day. So I do like that, and I think they have to have that on a regular basis. So that's it. That's all the reveals I saw today on WWE.com. Of course, there was also a video on YouTube, of course, that they did put up. And we do know on Monday we're going to see probably a lot of this stuff in person. At Hogan's Beat Shop, we're going to see Hulk Hogan. We're going to see him presenting the Mega Powers pack. It's basically Ringside Fest 2022, and it should be an interesting one. And they've also promised some new reveals, so things that we didn't see here, I think we're going to get a peek under the tent to that. So we'll see how deep that video ends up going. But like I said at the top of this video, I'm a little shocked that they gave us all this info, all this new product. They showed this on Black Friday, as it just doesn't seem like the day to do that. But what do I know? It is their show, so they're going to take that show on the road, as we're going to see with the Hogan's Beat Shop. So there it is, a very interesting Black Friday reveals video from Mattel. Like I said, I'm here for all these. A lot of good stuff shown today, but I'm going to ask it to you. What was your favorite thing shown here? What do you think about all these reveals? What are you happy about? What are you challenged about? What do you think about the possibilities of 2 chases in each set going forward? Is it too much? I think to me it's too much, but I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this one, of course. And then while you're here, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the old notification bells. We got videos every single day. And then some, as you guys know. We got all kinds of content here on the channel. And a lot of stuff to come, as you guys are fully aware, as we close out 2022 and look into 2023. Don't forget about the Patreon channel, your best way to support videos like this and support the channel. You also get Q&As, bonus videos, early access to videos, a lot going on over there at the Patreon. And like I said, best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson. They got a big Black Friday sale. Save 20%. Got to get a deal all day long. And then don't forget to follow along on social media. SirPaul64 over there on Twitter. Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for a day of busy Mattel reveals, I am Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.